Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you bump on this video. How are you doing? How's your day going? And how is everything with you? So, today I'll just be making some clarifications on some terminologies on drug use, drug misuse, drug abuse, and drug substance abuse. These four terms sometimes are actually used interchangeably, even by myself. So let's just talk about it and get to know the differences and how to use it. Okay, so drug use can just be termed the use or proper appropriate use of drugs to yield a certain effect in the body, and it could be for therapeutic effect, it could be for curative effect, it could be for palliative effect. So but in the long run there is an effect of that particular drug on the body. So the difference between drug misuse and drug abuse is actually the intent of the individual taking that drug. Drug misuse is the person using a drug but in an inappropriate measure. How do I mean? You could be using this drug with no proper prescription, like yourself medicating. You could be using this drug not with the right dose or at the right time or the right um, use also. How is this? Maybe you're trying to sleep and you're finding difficult sleeping. You take a sedative, a tablet of a sedative, and maybe after 30 minutes, 1 hour, you find out that you've not slept yet. You go to take another tablet to go. You're actually misusing that drug, because for that particular sedative it might either be that maybe you did not use the actual dosage for your body, or you actually took the actual dosage but you did not wait for that drug to actually take its effect in your body and you gulped another one. Or for some people who now take paracetamol to cook, that's a drug misuse. Or taking paracetamol more than the required dose. An adult dose for paracetamol is 1000 milligram, which is equal to two tablets if it's the 500 milligram formulation. But you find out that these days people take three tablets, take four tablets, all in the name of wanting it to work fast. Using it in that manner actually shows, or it means that you're actually misusing that particular drug. So that is actually what misuse is. In as much as you're wanting to get an effect of maybe taking care of your headache or pain or whatever, but you're misusing because you're taking more than the required dose. Or maybe you take a drug, you're supposed to take your drugs 12 hourly, which is maybe 8 a.m. in the morning and 8 a.m. in the evening or in the night, and you take 8 a.m. in the morning and maybe you forgot and you take by 10 p.m., or you take 10 a.m. in the morning and take 6 p.m., you're actually misusing that drug because that's not the right formulation. The same thing with a drug you're supposed to take three times a day and it's supposed to be 8 hourly, especially if it's an antibiotic. You're supposed to calculate the intake of that drug by hours, not by maybe not by maybe 8 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 8 in the night. That way, you're actually doing 6 hours. So you are actually misusing that drug. This is just some of the examples. You can actually add yours to it. Then, drug abuse in its state is the intent of drug abuse is because you want to get a particular kind of feeling. Is either you want to get high, or you want to intoxicate, you want to feel intoxicated, or in that sense that you want to take that to forget your sorrows or worries for that particular period of time. That is actually a drug abuse, because you are abusing that drug in the sense that you're either taking higher doses of that drug to actually get that high effect you are seeking for as a person. And what does this imply? This implies that you take higher doses, just like those who take tramadol. Usually tramadol should be taken 50 milligram, but people take as high as 200, 500 milligram, just so as to get that high feeling their body so require. And some people actually take them, just like some cough syrups that contain codeine. Some people gulp without taking the proper measurement, which may be 10 mils per ad for an adult, maybe morning, afternoon, night. Well, some people just take open a codeine and gulp it that way. That is actually a drug abuse. Or maybe for opioid or tranquilizers, sedatives. In this form, you actually take higher doses of this drug so as to get that particular effect. In that way, it is actually drug abuse. So as you can see, the two intents of this individual who is misusing a drug and abusing a drug are actually different, and that's actually makes a whole lot of difference between these two personalities. Then for substance abuse may not necessarily be drugs per se, or it could be drugs mixed with some other substance. Like these days, we have some people mixing codeine with I think Sprite, some people mixing tom tom in water or zobo and all sorts. Some people using tire, inhaling a particular stench from rubber or a tire. That's actually substance abuse. You find so many mixtures these days. Some people mixing zobo with so many other concussions. So those are substances being abused. And even some with these drugs, some people actually pour in some drugs into any of these their drinks so as to get that particular effect. And this in turn has psychological effects, physical, mental effects on individuals as time goes by. What precautions should we take in all this? Because all in drug use, what precautions should we take? Ensure you do not self-medicate. And if even if you must, be sure to stick to the required dose. And yourself medicating should not be on antibiotics. Maybe just for headaches and you need feel like taking a paracetamol. But drugs should actually be your last resort. Before you go up in any drugs, even when you're feeling headaches, ensure one to take lots of water. Take a cup of water at that time. You could rest your head if possible. Let's go, maybe just leave work. If you're working at the time, take a break and leave work for some time to rest. And also, some another thing you could do is you could have a warm compress, warm towel soaked in water, like warm water, or then put in what in the towel, soak, and just place on your forehead. Sometimes you might feel better. Most times you will feel better when you try any of these measures. But water, mainly water, is really really important. Sometimes you having that headache might either be you being dehydrated and the body is trying to compensate for that dehydration, and thereby you feel that lightheadedness or headache. So if you've tried every of these measures and you don't feel okay, before you take your drugs as a last resort. So ensure you do not self-medicate at the slightest opportunity. And even when you have to get drugs, ensure they are prescribed drugs. If you must get, ensure you're getting your drugs from a qualified health personnel who would direct you on how well to take, not from every roadside chemist. Because I've actually seen chemists who would prescribe ibuprofen to a person 400 milligram morning and night, while usually ibuprofen is supposed to be taking 200 milligram morning and night. Imagine a chemist doubling the dose for an individual. So that is wrong, because taking it, and even when you take such drug, there are some drugs you should take with food, some you should take without food. So all this, when you take get it from a health personnel, they'll direct you appropriately so that you don't get some harsh side effects in the long run. Then another thing you should take note of is when you get your drug, ensure you take it as prescribed and discard drugs not used appropriately. Don't leave drugs lying around because of children who might mistakenly take in this drug. Then what again? Yes, ensure to also seek help, take your drugs as prescribed, and make sure you do not take drugs for just pleasure. This is actually drug abuse, and it could give you mental breakdown. Some all this madness you see outside, it's not because they couldn't, or maybe they just ran mad or it's in their family. Some are actually because of negligence or drug abuse or substance abuse. Do not be peer pressured. Okay, my friend took it and nothing happened, let me try my own. Your head and your friend's head is not the same thing. And also, when something is done out of ignorance, you might go scot free. But when you're knowledgeable and you still go into it, most times you get caught up with it. So ensure you stay clear of substances that are harmful to your health. Stick with only what you know. Do not be peer pressured, no matter what it is. Stand for yourself and do not take because my friend took. So I think that's pretty much about it. Yes. So thank you so much. I hope you took value from this video. I hope you do. And let me know what you do, or let me know what you got or the value you got in the comment section. And I'll be glad to hear from you. So thank you very much and stay blessed. Remember to always stay healthy and create your happy place. Bye for now. Yes, and if you're new to my channel, please kindly hit up the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Ciao.